Hello guys, what's up? This is Ghost and Friends, and today we're going to be looking at simulating the LFO tool, and we're going to be doing that by using SerumFX. So to get started, I'm going to explain what type of simulation we're going to do. We're mainly going to focus on sidechaining with the with the SerumFX, and you can do it. You can experiment with it, and you can get different effects, I'm sure. Essentially, we're just abusing MIDI routing. So here's the sound without SideChain, and then we're gonna go through. We're gonna use SerumFX, and then we'll listen to the sound after it. So there it is. The bass is already sidechained, so if you were able to hear that, then that is true. It's already sidechained. We're going to be going over, I'm going to be showing you how to do it with these layers right here. So to start, we're going to add a return track. So to add a return track, I already added mine, but you'll right click and then it says insert return track, or you can hit Control-Alt-T. Mine is labeled layers processing, and then you're going to go to wherever you have your plugins, your SerumFX, and you drag and drop that into your effects rack for your return track. So now we open SerumFX. You're going to want to use distortion and set the type to X shaper. And then with X shaper, click Edit A, Preset. Under Basic, there's a thing called Flat Zero. Click on that. And then you're going to want your drive all the way down. And then we're going to, you can start it with the mix this way and have your LFO right here, how it is, but I ran into trouble with that since when I did it this way, the noise would only trigger if the drum that was hitting the LFO was there, so some parts would get cut out. And to fix that, what I did was I turned the mix all the way down, and then I flipped this vertically. So when you're making the LFO shape, it's more intuitive this way, I feel. So I just shape it here, then I hit flip vertical. And the reason why we did distortion with X shaper is doing it this way, this actually acts as a volume knob for the sound. So this shape will modify the volume. So we're ducking out the volume in this fashion. And make sure it's set to trigger, and we have 1/8 notes for me. It will vary depending on how you want your sidechain to sound. For me, this is what sounded best. I had 1/8 notes. So now we have SerumFX all set up in our return track. Next, we're going to go to a drum rack. And then you're going to find under Instruments, External Instrument. Now we drag it into our drum rack. Change the... Oh, before we do that, make sure that you have Show-Hide Chain List. Click on that so it's showing it. And then click Input Output right here. That's the I/O. Now under External Instrument, wherever you put it, ours is on F1, we're going to change that note to all notes. This way, no matter what instrument is playing at that time, it's going to sidechain. That's what we want, because all we have, at least for this drum rack, is just a kick and snare. So we're just going to sidechain that, for example. So it's set to all, and then go to MIDI 2, your return track with the SerumFX, and then make sure SerumFX is right there. Now the drum rack is all set and we're almost ready to go. What needs to happen now is go to whichever track you want to sidechain, and here where it says master, this is saying the outputs to the master. We want it to sends only. And then our return track, for instance, is on C. So these show how much signal is being sent to each track. So A, B, C. We're going to max it out, so all of the signal is going to the return track. Okay. So just to double check, we have sends only, signals maxed out to the return track. The drums, they have the external instrument that triggers the LFO each time a MIDI note is played, right here. So now we go to the return track, and to make sure, we're going to view it. Oh, there it goes. So you can see that's triggering it. And you can definitely hear it. So there you go. With the drums, it sounds like this. So just a nice simple drum beat, and I'm sure you can apply it to other things if you want. But this is the most basic example, and I just wanted to show you a pretty cool trick that I found while looking through YouTube, and just to spread the word. I think more people should know about it. I learned about it watching AU5. He's a pretty resourceful guy, so if you want more information, you can also look at his video on how to do it. And I hope you guys learned something new. I know the reason I learned this was because LFO tool is $50, and frankly, I don't have the resources to do that. So, and I already own Serum, so that's my story on why. And I'm sure you guys will get a lot of benefit out of this. And another cool thing is, since you're sending it to return track, you can add other effects to it to process all the sounds at once again. So like adding a compressor, just a little bit of compression to mix them in, things like that. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to see you again. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, people.